When the practice was closed till the end.
Forgot, sorry. No filming at
I gotta do
Wally
all the dirty work between us.
Sorry.
When Ron Brook was my guy, he never let me down that way.
Oh, he doesn't party like me on the road.
Yeah, no, actually,
You're right.
no, Jamie and I had dolphins rehearsed, okay? Yeah, so just relax.
We're here all weekend.
Yeah, no, as far as, you know, the BC Lions, you know, we're really looking forward to 2008, and, you know, there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think one of the main reasons is we have a tremendous, I think, core of veteran players, and I think as everybody knows, there's a certain lifespan of any team, you know, with that core, and obviously for us, you know, we want to make sure and we take advantage of those opportunities. And take your team at the beginning of the year, you always, I guess, are honest with yourself. Do you have a team that can compete and that could win it all? And I believe at the end of the day, you know, we have that kind of a team. Obviously, there's a lot that's going to occur between now and then, and a lot's going to occur between now and November. But I think you have to always start with a point of optimism, and you know, I'm very optimistic about the team that we have, and very optimistic about the young that we've added to our football team, and optimistic about our coaching staff, how it was restructured, and hopefully, you know, that will also add another dimension to a better football team. So, you know, the game tomorrow night, amidst all the cloak and dagger of all that goes on, you know, is still just 12 on 12, and you know, other than maybe not knowing who the DI is, it's not really that big of a deal, right? So, from our perspective, you know, we've always concerned ourselves with our team and how we're going to operate and what we're going to do, and at the end of the day, we feel very comfortable with our preparation, and I think the guys understand what their challenge is, and I think they're up to it.
Great, questions?
You say you don't concern yourself with the other team, but you had some pretty strong words in terms of what Huffnagel did this week by closing his practice.
And Eric, what were my strong words? Because
you basically said that the league should stop that sort of thing because it's.
Well, no, I didn't see. That's why sometimes I have to understand what you're asking me, because what I said is I've done the same thing John's done before, and we always did it as whatever, right? But at the end of the day, these are all things that I said should be mandated by the league, not specifically to John or to the Calgary Stampeders, and I paraphrase in the sense that I've done this before. And in today's CFL, the thing that's occurring, and I think you guys all can see this, is the fact that they want to make the playing field of everything, not just the SMS, not just everything, whether it's practice roster, salaries, conditions, and in actuality, there is a competitive edge, okay, for any team that has the ability to isolate themselves. I mean, I think you know that, and I know that. You know, media, unfortunately, that watches practice at times does say things or write things, whether it's intently or not, that sometimes does give information out to another team. The fact is, if practice was closed, nobody would have known that Jamal Johnson didn't practice. Okay? If practice was closed, nobody would have guessed who the starting quarterback could have been. See what I mean? So even though it's a very slight advantage, I guess, and this is not a criticism of anybody, this is something that I believe, like everything else, if the league wants to have a level playing field on the big things, then they also have to have it on the little things. And you know, until there's regulations about all that, you know, then a team will do what it's required to do. And I guess the requirement is to give access to the media 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after, right? So, you know, from that perspective, is that the best policy? I think the league and the competitive committee should sit down and talk about that.
Well, besides your history with John and knowing him very well, he just commented moments ago about this being his first time to call the game as a head coach. He's called lots of plays, but calling the game. Is there a competitive advantage for you as a guy that's done this hundreds and hundreds of times compared to a guy that's never done that? And if so, how can you exploit that?
Well, here, I mean, I hope John can say, okay, guys, we're gonna go for it on 3rd and 1. No, we're not going for it on 3rd. I mean, what the hell? I mean, if you're not calling the game on offense and defense, you ain't calling the game. I mean, I hate to say that in such a abrupt way, but, you know, the head coach most of the time is just a spectator. What he's doing is trying to get the, you know, the pulse of the game, the feel of the game, and if he's involved in one aspect more than the other, then he might have more input in one over the other, right? I don't believe that there's any head coach that I know of that has the headsets that calls all the offensive plays, all the defensive plays, and every special team situation. It's not possible. His job is to basically manage the game. You know, do I throw the challenge? Do I call the timeout? You know, do I take the chance on 3rd down? You know, if I don't like something, then you can whisper to your OC, and they don't listen to you anyways most of the time. John never did, because he couldn't hear in one year and he had the other shit on the other year. Right? So the point there is, you know, managing the game is more so, you know, in critical decisions. Okay, you know, should we pull the quarterback? You know, John's very intelligent. He's, you know, I don't believe that's an issue at all for him in that respect. I mean, I don't, you know, as a coordinator, you got to probably make a lot more decisions that really influence the game, more so than the head coach does.
When you invited him to be a guest coach at camp,
I screwed up, yeah, I know.
were you hoping he would come back and maybe work with you again, or did you know that if he ever came back to CFL, he was going to be a head coach?
No, that's, you know, I knew John one day wanted to come back to the CFL. You know, now, whether that was 5 years from today or, you know, I knew that he really enjoyed it here. I knew that he wanted to be a head coach. And at the end of the day, I think this is how he saw himself maybe finishing out his coaching career. You know, when we asked John to come last year, that was more, we wanted him to consult with our coaches and, you know, just be there as a consultant with a guy that's had a tremendous experience, you know, with the kind of offenses that are run and with his experience in the NFL and, you know, with his football knowledge. And John was very helpful to us. You know, it was a help to him because it maybe got him back into the, you know, the mindset of the CFL. So, you know, it was good. I mean, John being in the league is a big plus for all of us, not just for the Calgary Stampeders. I mean, the more, I just used the word, I guess, high-profile, competent, original individuals that are in the game, the better our league is. I mean, you know, John, what he did in the 90s revolutionized the CFL. You know, it really changed football per se, right? Okay, you think about right now what's happening in football. Okay, whether it's the NFL, the NC2A, the CFL, everybody basically uses a philosophy that was maybe not created by John. I don't want to say that he was the only guy there, because Edmonton in 1990 used 1 back, 5 receivers in the Western Final against us. And they did it by chance, because I think they had a running back hurt or something, and they had, the ratio had to be, so they used the 5th receiver. And then they went away from it. What I believe John did is he made that popular. He grew it to where people said, hey, this is a way for us to be successful. And so at the end of the day, when you have people like that come into your league's going to grow, because at the end of the day, it's all about entertainment, right?